brought this out. We're talking about the missiles. Now, I found this article earlier today that I was reading, and it says China is a missile superpower with plans to beat America in a war.
Oh man, send me that.
That's man, and hey, that bring joy to our heart. The spirit of power, how about you got shot? That brings joy to our heart, man. Because that's what's coming. Eventually, this war is gonna escalate, man, and the world is gonna be thrust into a third world conflict, man. The scriptures describe it as a third world war. But World War III is going to play out in this lifetime. Lord willing, we be a part of that number, we get saved out of it. But that is going to play out. And what you see right now, you see everybody is picking a side. You got nations that are picking Russia. You got nations that are still siding with America. But there is a great divide that's happening right now amongst these nations. And eventually it's going to escalate into physical conflict, man.
Hey, these things are elated. We're elated to hear these things, man. The scripture says through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom, man. We're ready for phase 2. Because phase 3 means we're going to be in the glory that the Heavenly Father set up.
No, I was just going to say, because the brother mentioned how we want to see these things more willing in our lifetime. Right. I was just going to mention how we had someone, might have been Paul Percy, I didn't see the name, but one of the Apostle Charles, one of his recent videos, he said about how pertaining to the MOTB and World War III and all these things, we're not going to see it. We're going to basically live and we're going to die. It's not going to happen in this lifetime.
And that's what a lot of Jakes hope for. They hope that all of these things are going to happen when they long gone.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to see it in their lifetime. A lot of Jake are comfortable here and they don't want to see these things come to pass. But that's the only way we get into the kingdom, man. These things have to play out. Now, I'll just read a couple of sentences from this article. But it says China is a missile superpower with plans to beat America in a war. Now it says this, in the last couple of years, there has been a lot of attention on the buildup of China's People's Liberation Army Navy. It says it has undergone a major modernization effort and is now the largest naval force in the world. This goes into what? Beat your plowshares and the swords. It's time to eat.
That's it.
All right, that's what the Lord doesn't put the spirit on these nations to do. If we can get that, beat your plowshares and the swords. Now it's time to prepare war, and that's exactly what these nations are doing. They're spending millions, billions, if not trillions of dollars, investing in drills, all right, for war, for combat. Now, real quick, I want to get this point on this article. It says this: just last summer, the plan launched its third aircraft carrier, the second to be entirely indigenously built. This will allow China to flex its muscles in the Indo-Pacific region and beyond. It says, jumping down, it says, yet largely overshadowed by the ships and aircraft are China's efforts to increase its missile capabilities. These efforts have been ignored. It is simply a matter of fact that Beijing appears to be focused on multiple projects in a way that would have seemed impossible just a decade ago.
Wow.
So now they're increasing their missile capabilities. And this is China preparing for war with America. This is why America is using the war with Ukraine to test out their own logistics, to test out their own military equipment while not risking American lives. Because they're ultimately preparing for this conflict. See, the only people who won't believe a war is coming is these regular Edomites and Jake. And then amongst these regular Edomites, you got a lot of them that know a war's coming, and they're stocking up on bullets and canned goods. But a war is coming, whether these people are ready for it or not. And we understand that it's all according to prophecy. The Lord said that these things will play out, that World War III will play out. These nations aren't building up their missile capacity, their missile capabilities for nothing.
Right. And you know, the thing about it is, this whole world are tuned in to CNN and NBC News, right? Because the so-called white man set that system up. But they'll look past it, their own people that's bringing out the truth, man. And they won't look and give us a second nod. They wouldn't even consider, okay, the things that are coming out of their mouths, man. Because they've been programmed by the oppressor.
Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number,
Hey,
man.
Lord willing, bro.
Hey, real quick, it says this. Another area where the United States has already fallen behind China, as well as Russia, is in the development of hypersonic missiles. Last August, China reportedly tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic glide vehicle that could circle the globe in low-orbit space.
Man.
So you got people who are saying, "Oh, no, ain't no missiles gonna hit her." They ain't talking about missiles. Look, what did the Lord say? Is gonna shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to the other.
Come on.
And we're reading about China having the ability to have a missile circle the globe in low orbit. That's like,
Come on.
because they do low orbit
Yeah.
to get around the radar systems.
Right.
You fly low orbit. These things, you think they doing this for nothing? Come on, man.
The scripture says they're not gonna break their rank, man. What's that talking about?
You want to say something about?
No, I'm holding Joel.
Yeah, beautiful.
Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
And that's what's happening on the earth. Now as these nations build up their missiles, it's like looking at a gun range. It's like looking at your armory like, man, I could go to war.
Right.
You know, Jake said when they get them guns, they get proud.
Right.
Imagine these nations with these missiles. Let the weak say I'm strong, man. Now they're starting to get that battery in their back, and they're starting to look at the West, these Edomites over here, and they're saying, look, hey, if you become weak as we,
Right.
y'all ain't got hypersonics.
Right.
You ain't got these.
Come on.
Hey, and the Lord put the spirit on them to get ahead of you on that. That's beautiful, man.
Hey, if I can say this, man, this all goes back to what we read in Habakkuk, the first chapter, about how the Lord was going to do marvelous works in our time that though we tell them they won't believe. These things ultimately were foretold from the beginning. I got a precept for you.
Yep.
This is John 14:29. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it has come to pass, you might believe. And the Lord already told us these things, man, before they came to pass. And what we're seeing right now within the earth with this escalation of war, all right, it's only in telling the onset of World War III. All right, like the brother's going into, the reason why these countries are testing their defense systems, testing their missiles, is because ultimately they plan on going to war. They're not testing these things to you don't practice not to play in the game, basically.
Right.
You practice to play. And these nations are practicing right now so that they can play in World War III. So that they might have that foothold, they might be that number one nation to come out after World War III.
Yeah, because building these missiles, man, and conducting all these war, these what do they call it, war drills and whatnot, that costs money. So with that being said, these missiles, they're not going to just put these in a museum to be looked at. Now, eventually they're going to be put to use.
Right, and the reason why brothers are bringing out these articles so fervently here in these latter days is because the minds of these kings weren't stirred up like this 5-10 years ago. This is something that the Lord has just started to cause to happen here in the latter days, to where these kings are being stirred up. The Lord is stirring up jealousy amongst these kings, and now they're starting to perform the Lord's prophecy. Now they're starting to act. Now they're starting to be moved by the spirit of prophecy, by the spirit of Yahweh Shai.
And because when you look at it, the Lord said that a snare was laid up for him, and that he set that snare up himself. When all of those jobs that were originally here moved over to places like China, they funded them to have what they have now. Huawei and all of these different companies that they have and the army that they have came from everything being made in China. That bread, those that ate that bread laid a wound under them. And now they built their arsenal and they built their military up to a point where they believe that they can be a contender. And eventually they're gonna fight.
Right.
Now real quick, one more part of this article. It says, what is especially worrisome is that newly released satellite images have revealed that China is building a second nuclear missile silo field. This will be in addition to the 120 missile silos already under construction near Yumen in Gansu province. The second missile silo field is located 380 kilometers or 245 miles northwest of the Yumen field.
Come on.
So they're building up an arsenal. They're building up a field of silos for their missiles. And this is not for naught. Nations don't spend millions and billions of dollars to have drills if they're not going to fight. World War III is coming.
Hey, if I get this real quick.
Yep.
This is the definition. This is what's happening in the earth right now. What's happening in the earth is an arms race.
Right.
This is the definition of arms race of Google. A competition between nations for superiority in the development and accumulation of weapons, especially between the U.S. and former Soviet Union during the Cold War.
And now China's involved. and pushing all those jobs to China only made your enemy better. It just made your enemy greater, which is why those that ate your bread laid a wound for these. You thought you was doing something slick. Well, we're just gonna go over there because we can just we can get our iPhones made over there. Meanwhile, they stacked up all that money. They invest in guns to turn their plowshares into swords.
They didn't spend that money on labor, man. They get cheap labor.
Yeah, because they got billions of people. And the Lord did that. Look how detailed the Lord is with the moment you moved all them jobs over there, them Moabites, automatically in their mind, they're like, man, we got to build up our arsenal. Because these niggas coming, man. We got to be ready. And now it's time, man. Because there is no real defense against hypersonic missiles. You can throw little missiles to try to catch them, but you won't catch them all. That's the problem with a hypersonic missile, is that your defense system is obsolete compared to it.
Even Michael Malou said that America don't got a defense system for the missiles that Russia got, man.
Because those are hypersonic.
Right.
And they're not prepared for that. And they're behind on making those kind of weapons. And that's why through the Spirit we understand that all of these things are going to hit ahead. And whether these people believe it or not, it's going to play out. It's a laugh, it's a joke now, but it won't be later.
That's it. Go ahead, brother.
So the definition of hypersonic weapon says hypersonic weapons travel in the upper atmosphere at more than 5 times the speed of sound.
Right.
Or about 3,853 miles per hour. All right, and most defense systems can't handle that type of speed. And especially when you shoot them off in the lower atmosphere, they go undetected, like the brother's going into. So once they're shot off, they're going to, I don't know the exact distance between Russia, China, and America, but 3,000 miles per hour, that's
a lot.
That's probably, it'll reach here probably in an hour or two.
Less than that.
Less than
30
that.
minutes.
30 minutes.
Well, Russia said that at one point. They said they had a missile that could touch. And I'll see if I can find it. I don't want to misquote it, but they said roughly that they had a missile that could touch the mainland over here in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you know what's crazy is when you watch a movie, you don't want to know what happened in the movie. You want to see it for yourself. Well, we're here to spoil the movie for you so you can prepare yourself for what's to come.
Man, for the battle, man.
And when most people hear about a missile being shot off, they don't know what to do. They go up in panic, just like what happened in Hawaii a couple of years ago.
Wow.
That whole missile scare.
Right.
When that happens, people don't know what to do. And by that time, hypersonic missiles have been touching the main thing. That's why the scriptures say in 1 hour shall all this shit be destroyed. Because once they're shot off, it's
30 minutes to go up,
30 minutes.
30 to come back.
It's over with.
How you gonna escape that? Via the chariots.
Right.
There's no other way out of here, man. For this type of miraculous judgment, we're gonna need a miraculous salvation. It only makes sense. Like the brother read in the book of Proverbs, the 11th chapter, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. It's a balance. As the judgment is great, so is the mercy, so is the salvation, man. And what the hell are y'all reading anyways when it says the sea of glass? What is that? How we gonna look at the sea, America burning?
Man, get Isaiah 26 and 20. Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
It's Isaiah 26 and verse 20. It reads, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers,
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chamber.
and shut thy doors about.
Right?
Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation overpass."
That little moment is an hour, like it said in Revelation 18.
So how are we gonna do that? What is that talking about?
Hey, if you can't get it, it ain't for you, man.
Now, real quick, we touched on it, but I wanted to bring out the information. It says Russia readies hypersonic missile for launch in fresh nuclear threat. Now, this is from the 17th of December last year, which was a month ago. It says this: Russian President Vladimir Putin described the avant-garde as invincible in 2018 and claims the weapon can hit any target on Earth in 30 minutes and at 27 times the speed of sound.
Hey, a brother got it on the comment board. This Pasadena 144K. He says Satan II missile moves and travels at 17,000 miles per hour and can reach mainland Babylon the Great in 15 to 25 minutes.
And that's and they are ahead of the states in this regard, man.
Yeah, Russia got the best missiles. They say America's spending the most money on military, but Russia got the best missiles.
Man.
Hey, I got a precept for you.
Yep.
It's Isaiah 54, verse 16 in the NLT. I have created the blacksmith who fans the coals beneath the forge and makes the weapons of destruction. And I have created the armies that destroy.
Right.
That's exactly what the Lord has done through these different mad scientists. All right, starting with I believe his name was Werner von Braun, a German, a so-called Teemanite.
Teaming.
It says, and that's the Lord. That's how the Lord used these devils to create these weapons of war. The Lord made this modern day blacksmith, all right, which is the modern day scientist, to create these intercontinental ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles. All right, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, man, this is the smith that the Lord has created to waste and destroy.
Right.
A quick one.
Yep.
I have became
Yeah. Oppenheimer. It's like that.
When you say I have became the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, that's Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And now they've only become better at destroying people, man.
Right.
That's what they want to take credit for everything on the earth. What the so-called white man's specialty is death. He's the best at increasing the ability to kill people on the planet. And the Lord used him for that purpose.
That's what he's used for.
Hey, we read last night in Daniel 7:20. It say his look is more stout than his fellows, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Isaiah 13 and starting at verse 5. Isaiah 13 and 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Who is able to make war with the beast? Russia.
Right. How about that?
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
And what is the Lord talking about? Modern warfare. And it's like playing video games. Well, hey, modern warfare about to play out in 3D. And the Lord gonna use those missiles, man. That's the time that we coming into. Whether these people accept it or not, meanwhile, behind the scenes, these nations are spending millions and billions of dollars.
Billions.
Billions of dollars to invest in their missiles and their arsenals. To make sure the missiles are undetected. You got certain missiles that they go up in the air and then they throw a whole bunch of decoys to catch the missile defense system. But then they got the main one that come through all of those decoys and hit its target. They invested in stuff like this, man. Because the Lord kept it simple. Beat your plowshares and the swords. But it's great detail behind those words, man. And that's what the Lord is doing.
And you know what's cold? As this world looks at technology as the great savior of this world, it's going to end up being the great destroyer.
Right.
Elon Musk said that, man. He said the more that we advance in AI technology, it's what's going to cause us to be destroyed. Elon said that, man.
And y'all was bringing it out last night about how, like over there in Ukraine, Ukrainian soldiers, they go days and weeks without seeing actual troops foot soldiers because everything's about technology now.
It's drone strikes, it's artillery, it's mortars, but they barely have, and that goes into the people's idea of what war should look like, and they're basing their experience off of World War II. We're in a modern era, and the modern warfare is through drone strikes, it's through missiles, it's through air raids.
Right.
That's why when you go into these accounts of these foreign legions that go to Ukraine, they say they can go weeks without seeing a soldier because it's all artillery, it's all drone strikes, it's all type of warfare where you don't actually have to see a soldier.
Hey, they showed you that, Salaki. They showed you that with Fat Man and Little Boy.
Yep.
That's how they was advancing they military power.
Right. It's all keyboard warriors now.
Right.
A lot of those drone pilots that they use, they recruit from the video games. Because you basically sit back and you got a controller, and you're controlling the drone, and you just pressing the button and it's dropping and killing hundreds of people, man.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Because a lot of these Jakes play these games, and they have a gaming meet.
Yeah.
Will be the best one.
Tournament,
Them guys get recruited, man. To be in those them jets they used to be, the pilot silent jet they used to fly over countries and observe shit. They slap them drones. Yeah, them gamers be getting recruited, man.
Yeah, because Esau a coward,
Yeah.
man.
Listen, Esau don't do just like at school when you got those who create the best science projects. Well, those want to create those best science projects, they get advanced. They put them through college courses in high school. Next thing you know, they somewhere at Area 51
Right.
making some aids, man.
Esau got to use drones and technology because he's a straight up coward.
Well, to land back that point, this is another article. It says wearethemighty.com, and it says, and this is from 2018, June 27th. It says the Navy will recruit drone pilots using video games.
Wow.
What? See what I'm saying?
Come on, man. You
That's
can't
common
make
sense
this
though.
up.
I can already tell you.
bro.
Esau don't have you to get good at something
Come on.
through
nothing.
school for
Right.
nothing.
Right.
And then, hey, yeah, we're gonna put your son through. We're going through some courses.
We'll
Next
fund
thing
them.
you know,
We'll fund them.
yeah.
And guess what? A part of that plan is desensitizing them to death.
Right.
Because through these video games, you going on kill streaks, you killing without no remorse. And so when they get them on these drones, and it comes to actual men and women, they don't care.
They don't care.
They're desensitized to that type of warfare. You know?
I got a
Esau
little.
say, press the button. Press the goddamn button.
It's the goddamn buddy.
Got rush out.
That was rush now.
Yeah.
So a little bit of the article, I just read a couple points. It says this: the Naval Aerospace Medical Institute and Adaptive Immersion Technologies, a software company, are developing a computer game to identify individuals with the right skills to be UXV operators. The project, sponsored by the Office of Naval Research, is called Stealth Adapt.
Now, how we talking about this? The brothers found it on Google.
Come on.
Go to the search engine.
Hey, that goes into studying to show yourself approved, man. That's how we understand what those arrows are. That's how we understand who the son of perdition is. You know, our apostles and elders gave us the blueprint, and then they told us to go look it up. And that's what we do through the Spirit. We filter everything through the Scriptures.
Searching for real, baby.
We filter it all through the Scriptures. The prophecies are the prophecies, and we go through news articles and we see what the Lord is doing. That's how we track how the Lord is moving in the earth.
The signs,
The
man.
sign, the tokens.
The tokens,
But you
man.
got to be able to rightly divide it and identify it. If you don't believe the MOTB is the CHIP, then what are you identifying on the earth? Where's the article about the Embargo Act? Where's the millions of articles about Embargo Acts?
Right.
Well, if that's how the Lord moving, that's what's going to be present in the earth, man.
And Apostle Hall said this recently. And that's why when it hit the fan with the MOTB, your congregation gonna turn on all y'all, man.
Hey, they should have turned on y'all when y'all told them to take that jab.
Yeah.
That should have been a turning point. But for all these things, Jake will not
Outside
return,
sheep,
man.
Slow bellied sheep, man.
Hey, I got a precept for you. Whilst we're talking about World War III, all right, in the midst of World War III, the Lord's going to return and put all these nations to shame. This is 2nd Esdras 13. And I'm going to start at verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Hey, it said that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. But it tell you in Psalms 68, 17, 20,000 chariots, even thousands of angels. Right? In Revelation 19, it said all the hosts of heaven followed him.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feels the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Hey, you gotta imagine all the hosts of heaven like, big bro, can we go with you? Can we go with you? We want to aid. Ain't nobody gonna be left up there.
That's gonna be a real display of power, man.
Right.
When all of those missiles,
Real.
and they have nothing to beat that fire from the chariots. Just witnessing the terror of the Lord coming down
Yes, sir.
through those chariots, it's gonna put people's stomach in their ass, man.
There'll be more with us than be with them.
Hey, and guess what? Home base gonna be destroyed.
Yes, sir.
So you ain't gonna have nothing else to go back to,
Yes,
because
sir.
you're gonna shoot the missiles off, and
Right.
America's gonna be blasted.
Right.
China might be blasted too. So when they fighting up in the air, they ain't gonna have no home base. Then they're gonna see a so-called black man coming out the sky with the thousands of heaven.
Right.
That's that old shit. We done fucked up for real.
Blast zone. We in the blast zone? Yeah. Right in the midst of it.
It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. And I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
So you couldn't even see the edges of it. You ain't know where it began and where it ended. That's how big it is. I mean, we looking at the sky right now, and just imagine being able to look to your left and to your right and not being able to see the end of that chariot. That's
They showed it in the first Independence movie.
Right.
just sitting on top of the earth like that, man.
And y'all see that one video that came out, I think it was last year, with the chariot out in outer space, the chariot.
That radar, that's
10 times bigger than the earth.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
people
I
up
did
on
a
earth,
lesson on it.
and then they cut the feet off.
I got a lesson on it.
real. You got one? This Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
When all these things happen, man, that's when all these things come to pass, and Yahushua and his men, the church, the Akim are in the skies, fighting valiantly for the elect. That's the time to look up, for our salvation is nigh. Lord willing, we the elect. Because that's our way out of here, like the brother's going into earlier. That's our way out of this hell world, man.
Got it all. Come. This is Revelation chapter 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen.
And this is how the Lord's reputation is going to be stamped in the earth, man, through that great judgment. When they see that, that's the end of Esau's world and the beginning of it that follows, man. That's why the scriptures describe Yahushua as the author and the finisher of our faith.
Revelation 12 and 7. Let's say the dragon and his angels.
I got it. It's Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
The dragon is the Roman Empire, which is a revived. North America is a revived Roman Empire. So it's talking about America and their armies, the Allies, EU, NATO. You got it.
And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore.
So to tell you right there, to sum it all up, the so-called white man's army is going to be destroyed by the Messiah when he returns. Period.
Point blank.
Point blank. Hey, real quick, Revelation 19 hit the point about the armies was taken, they was all destroyed. I think like verse 15 and 16, something like that.
It's Revelation chapter 19 and 13. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Heavenly Father.
That's Yahushua, you got it.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
You see, like it said in Psalms 68 and 17, 20,000 chariots, 1,000 angels. You got it.
Clothed with fine linen,
Right.
white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty power.
That's why it's talking about Isaiah 63, 1 through 5. Go ahead.
It says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Right.
And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying at all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power,
Go ahead.
that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
Go ahead.
And I saw the beast,
That's
and
what I want right there. In I saw them. Go ahead, read again.
And I saw the beast,
Which is NATO, EU, and North America. Go ahead.
and the kings of the earth,
And the kings of the earth, which we read in Revelation 16 and 14. The whole job for the so-called white man is to draw all these nations that go fight against Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
gathered together to make war against him that sat on horse,
See, it's always about the war of Yahweh Shah and the Edomites. You got it?
and against his army.
Right?
And the beast was taken,
And the beast was taken. Said the same thing in Daniel 7, 11 and 12. Go ahead.
and with them the false prophet
See? Go ahead.
that wrought miracles before him.
Right. That was it.
Deceived them that had the mark of the beast.
Right. Yeah. These is them that working miracles in the earth. Yeah. The so-called white man that you love so much.
Hey,
One of the
see,
elites of them, because these peon devils don't know nothing. They don't got nothing.
Right.
They're gonna try to defend for their family. Because Jay come to all Esau got that's in these suburban areas. Jay come to get all that.
hey, see, the Lord came lowly,
Right.
but now he's coming back as a great
What?
conqueror.
Angelic, Esther.
You got all these people who glorify gods like Alexander for what? For conquest. Well, the Lord is coming back as a great conqueror.
Right.
Real quick, this is Isaiah 47 and 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. See, Yahushua came lowly to establish this, but now he's coming back to collect it.
Right.
And he's already a great conqueror over death, man.
Right.
So this is gonna be an easy thing for the Lord, man.
He come back to the rest. Say that again.
He's already conquered death,
Right.
so this is gonna be an easy thing for the Lord,
Right.
man.
So read that.
So Revelation 6 and 2.
Oh,
Let's get
man.
it.
And I saw and behold a white horse, and he sat on him that had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
So that's what the Lord is going to do. He's coming back as a great conqueror. And you got to understand a part of conquest, because hey, when New Jerusalem comes down, that conquest is going to begin, man. That's when the hunt begins. And that's when the establishment of the kingdom of heaven is going to be made manifest on earth. When New Jerusalem comes down from them chariots and we're in the wilderness, Lord willing, we be a part of that number.
willing.
Hunting, grabbing these elites, putting them in shackles,
Oh, that's what I want to look over.
putting
Isaiah
Jake,
24.
putting those Persian rebels.
Right. How about that?
All of that is going to go down, and the Lord's going to be conquering, man. Conquering nations.
Hey, that's why the name on his vesture was written King of Kings and
Lord
Lord
of
of Lords. Because he's going
Ain't gonna be nobody else though.
he's going to accomplish what every king in the earth couldn't.
Right. Ooh,
Complete
beautiful.
world domination.
Complete domination.
That's it.
Yep.
Complete world domination. Let's go.
Take the world.
Quick one.
Right.
Revelation.
Take the world. Take the world. Yeah.
Quick one in Revelation 18, starting at 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down,
Thus with violence shall North America be thrown down by the Messiah, man. You got it.
and shall be
Yeah,
found no more at all.
Because America was established on violence, and the Lord is coming back to destroy it with violence.
Right.
And that's the balance.
That's the balance.
You
Can't
started
make
this
up.
with slaughter and death, and the Lord is coming back to feed you with your own food. Beautiful, man.
Oh, what's that one that say in Matthew he said the Lord said the kingdom of heaven suffers violence
Right.
and the violence took it by force. What the Lord coming to do? Take it with force.
That's it.
Yeah.
Ain't no asking.
Ain't no asking.
I got one.
Let me get that. Hey, you want to know about a bully? You been a bully, right?
Yeah.
The Lord coming to bully you.
And he said he's going to take
These
vengeance.
bullies.
And he's not going to meet you as a man.
That's right. Hey, this Craig versus Debo,
They're gonna see a
man.
title for me. The bully coming.
The real bully.
The real bully.
The real bully. This Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. So the one they ignorantly called Jesus coming to take over. And that's going to be a great slaughter, not only in Babylon the Great, which is America, but abroad. All right, that's what the Lord's coming to do. He's coming to bring war, man.
What little
In
Khalil
righteousness.
said, take.
It's locked. That was Revelation 19.
and 11.
Yeah, because some camps ain't gonna say no names, but they'll take that and say we don't know the names of the Heavenly Father. But when you go into that, it goes into a rank.
Right.
Right,
That,
right.
Yeah, that only belongs to Yahweh Shah, man.
Right.
Hey, get out Isaiah 24. We're close with that.
Yeah, come on.
Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard,
From the missiles.
and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
I'm from Earth, Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones.
Most of the high ones, they talking about the
Shalom.
elites.
Shalom.
Oppenheimer, DuPont, Gettys, Rothschilds. Yeah, the Walls, the Waltons. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the kings of the earth upon the earth.
See? The king, hey, keep talking about the kings. The Lord is about gathering the kings. Go ahead.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
Let's go.
And shall be shut up in the prison.
Let's go.
Hey, hold on. Isaiah 54, Isaiah 51 and 14 say, the captive exile, hasten that they may be loose,
That's right.
that they should not die in the pit. Well, we coming up out of the pit, which is America,
I'll put you in it.
and you heathens going in it. Go
Put you
ahead.
in it, yeah.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after many days shall they be visited.
And it said, what in Amos 9, the Lord shall slay the last of them
Right.
with the sword.
This the man.
And yeah. After 1,000 years of captivity, rebuilding the kingdom, you will be destroyed.
Control, Alt, Delete.
That was it.
You get your clothes off.
Hey, the real bully coming, man. The real bully coming, man. And take the world, man.
Hey, Dave, that's fire because I was just about to say that.
What?
Hey, when in the movie Shotters, when he came back, he was like, "Hey, top shotters are back." Like,
Full effect.
hey, full effect, man.
Hey,
How was
link
that,
up.
man?
Open the left, link up.
Bullet.
Yeah.
Revelation 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee in the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast as thou hast, and that no man take thy crown.
I wish I come quick. Hey, the bully is coming, man. The real bully, man. Hey, the Lord hate bullies, man.
Hey, and with that being said, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to our power.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rukakodash.
And giving double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect. And only to you, we say shalom.
Shalom. Wa Abba Baba.
Why for tuning in. May y'all about Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Hey, the water for all your precepts.
The water.
Stay
water.
prayed up.
Con.
It's only going to get worse from here.
That's it. Lord willing. See you soon. Wake up, Jacob.